All right, live drum practice number 21. We're doing more of American Girl. We're tightening this up. Last night I actually got it up to 115. Pretty excited. We had some good audience participation, some good feedback. And today I want to tighten it up, which is the title of this video. And I want to tighten up these 16th notes and kind of come up with a couple different exercises. One that was recommended by Randy, who was paying attention last night and watched and giving some good feedback. And then one that I kind of already been screwing around with. Now, if you want to follow along, if you want the sheet music, if you want good drum sheet music, if you're a drummer, if you're a drum teacher, these are great for that as well. $9.99 a month gets you 10 pieces of sheet music from us, high quality. We try to write all the nuances in there. I know it's something that we enjoy doing as a teaching studio that I used to own. I always thought it was important to have great resources. And if you're a teacher or if you're learning on your own, right, and there's mistakes in it and stuff is missing, it just makes the process harder because you learn something, you work really hard on it, and then you listen to the track and you go, oh shit, that's not how they're playing it at all. Okay, so we're going to focus on just this first 1 and 2 and. And what we're going to do, we're going to go back and forth with two different exercises. Randy's suggestion was kick and snare, which I think is a good one. So we'd go 1 and 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and. And we're going to go slow, get that into our head. And then as we speed up, hopefully I can kind of like fix the sloppiness. You know, I could play it at 115, but I could probably do 2 or 3 measures in a row. And then after that, I get a little wonky with my rhythm. So it wasn't sustainable, you might say. So we want to fix those. We want to fix that. And some of it is just bad technique that you got to work at slower speeds. The other exercise idea that I had, I wanted to try, I don't know if I'll even be able to do it, is to go 1 E and 2 E, or just 1 E and up. Try to have that control of 1 E, and I'll probably put that 8th note in there too. 1 E and 1 E and you can see that already, like that. The E was a little late, or the and was a little late. 1 E and 1 E. And every tempo marker that we go to, and I don't know if I'll be able to start that at 50 or not, because I did not practice before I got here. Every tempo marker will just kind of do those 2 exercises and start pushing it up. So, all right. But I think the this one we're gonna do first, because I think it's just gonna be the harder of the 2. And then we'll go to the Randy's idea, which I like. 1 and E and 1 and Okay, enough talking. So even though I said enough talking, then I just keep rambling. I think we'll probably just go 1 E and 1 E and then leave the 2, and then we'll do the 2 separate. But we'll give a beat of rest every time. So again, 50 might be our starting tempo, might not. And 2 E and 'So it's funny, the minute I try to put the hi-hat in, right, I put on the 1 E and 1 E and Okay, let's go to, let's do 44. I feel like this is a good idea. I do think as soon as we get up to higher speeds, you're going to hear a tightness in my playing. That was there at times at the end, but probably never consistent at 115. And 2, 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 1 E and 2 and 1 E and 1 E. Okay, so I'm rushing it every time. And 1 E and 2 and So some degrees of like non-success. What I do like about this idea though, and I'm probably just gonna have to do it for a bit, which is fine. Um, I like it that I'm gonna start to understand where that actually lives, and I think that's one of my problems with offbeat, upbeat stuff, especially on guitar or drums. Um, I have like an estimate of where that is right before two, but by plotting every single one of these beats out, one E and then also starting to get some consistency. Like those last kicks without the metronome sounded really nice, and almost all the same volume. One E and one E and. So all right, we're not gonna worry about that eighth note at this point. We'll add that in later. One E and two and one E and one E and two and one E and one E and two and one E and it's happening. It's not great. So now what I'm going to do is try to do that a couple times and then take away the end in the of that kick. One E and two and one E and one and two and two and one and I guess I'm gonna do that with hi-hat. One and one and two and one and two E and. So, all right. I don't know if that worked exactly the way that I thought it might. But let's try the two, and then we'll try to put this together at a little bit faster tempo with the other, kind of warm up to it. So same exact idea. We're going to ignore one and go 2E and all right, we're going to go 2E and I'm going to try to do all three of them just for fun. By all three, I mean E and on the kick. E and 2E and 2E and 2E and 2E and 2E and 1E and 1E and E and 1E and 2E and okay. Again, I don't know if that's helping anything, but we'll find out. All right, let's go to 50. And we're going to try to do just kick and snare. It's going to be a little slow. One and two. See, even that gets me where I'm not playing a beat on the two. One and two. E and. Yeah, I'm just sloppy. That's what it amounts to. Control. So we'll see if I can hear it. One and two E and. One and two E and three and four. The funny thing is, it's actually not only that snare, or it's that kick in that snare. One and two E and. One and two E and three. And 2E and 3 and 4 and two E and three and four and one and one and two E and three and cool. That went much better than the other idea, but we're gonna try both again. We start speeding it up. I didn't think 55 or 50 was terrible by any means. I thought it was playable. That's the best way to say that. All right, we're gonna go back to the exercise that I don't think is working that well for me, but just might just need a little bit more love. And I think there's something good about spending time going, even though it messes me up. Right, one E and one E and two E and one E and two E and. I think it's gonna pay some dividends. Just not today. No dividends today. One and two E and one E and one E and so if nothing else, it's going to teach me control. Funny thing is, if I don't do the other one, I'm not getting a better understanding of that space though. But I'm getting a nice foot workout. All right, let's do a couple more. See if it helps. One E and two and one E and one E and two and one E and so let's try to jump in on the two, and then I think I'll put the thing back together. Two E and two E and now I wonder if I can put those both together where I go one E and one E and two E and two E and one E and two E and then it's hard for me to stop the E and one E and two E and one E and so clearly I can't do that. Again, that's probably a good rudiment exercise that down the road I should be able to do. One E and then not kind of like do that little speed up I just did. All right, whole measure, just kick and snare, possibly. 2 and 3 and 4 and I find that I would say easy. Like I still have to think a little bit, right? But it does again help me understand that space better. And I think as soon as we get up to like 70 or 80, I'll put the hi-hats back in and just see if it like coalesces. 3, 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4. So we're playing 1 and a 1 and a. I'm trying not to click the 2. And a 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and a. So I can tell you already, like I'm obviously when I try to jump into it, I was playing way too fast, but I get the placement a lot better just by doing that. And I feel like I can actually hear that beat on 2 that's the hi-hat. I'm not like guessing and getting wrong sometimes. All right, let's go up by 4. Same thing. Just go back and forth between those 2 ideas. I'm ditching the first one. And some of that is like, all right, what's your intention of your practice currently? Okay, well, I want to tighten this up. I want to get those 16th notes better. First exercise, thought it might work. Kind of like taking my little nap today and like, oh, that might be a good way to approach that, just to get it closer and realize quickly it's like, it's not helping me. I don't hear it well, and I don't have a good enough technique to go and to go. I can't do it right there. It's proven point, right? 1 E and So something to work towards, and we'll see that beat in another song someday and approach it. 1 and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 and 4 and the minute I try to add that 4 and now I'm struggling to hear the 2. One and try it anyway. All right, now I'm falling apart. 1 and a 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and and now I'm just being sloppy. All right, let's we're gonna try it. Just kind of push through this a little bit. May not be pretty, but 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 E and so it's that darn hi-hat there. And 2 E and So the funny thing is, I'm struggling at 64, and yesterday we got up to 115. So, it just might be sloppiness. It might be fatigue. It might just be I'm a bad drummer. It could be any of those things at this point. So let's just see if we can kind of like force our way back into it. One into 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here, I'm just not tight with that metronome yet. Now, again, I'm going to be okay with it for today's practice. Let's try 74. We'll just see. So I'm going to go back and forth. That snare thing kind of helped me tighten up. And then my idea from yesterday, that 1E and a 2M, helps me hear those eighth notes a little bit better. So those two little exercises. And a 2E and 3 and 4 and. Sloppy. All right, let's do a couple times without. One and up. Now, in my experience, this is like going to the gym. This is a day that maybe I should have not gone to the gym. I should have stayed home. And you're not going to see the gains that you saw yesterday. Yesterday we went from 50 BPM or 40 BPM all the way to 115. It took about an hour, but it was grooving. It was feeling good by the end of it. And then today it's like you come in and you're like, shit, I can't play this at 74. I can't play this consistently at 74. And right now it'd be really easy to hit stop stream, and just like wallow. It's rainy outside. It's a perfect day for that. Instead it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to get what I can out of this practice. Hit it again tomorrow. This is just, this 35 to 40 minute practice is not my best for whatever reason. And then tomorrow we do it again. We figure out what it was. We stretch our legs out, which we did today. I did. 3 and 4 and. So you can kind of hear I'm like laying into the drum set because I'm like, bro, you played this yesterday. You can play this. But it doesn't want to. One. Shit. My brain's frying. Now, and I think playing without metronome is awesome and great, but there's an adherence to playing in time that I think is a skill we all need to work on and develop. And there's something beautiful about like when a band plays tight together, and that's from people understanding time. So I also realize like when I run through these, like I run through metronome, I run without metronome, put it back together. Oftentimes when you put it back together, it's better. Just takes a while. I'm trying to justify why I suck right now. So a lot of it is just not getting that hi-hat on too. It's just not coming together. One ended. All right, what we're gonna do before I lose my patience. Go to 58. I'm just trying to clean this up a minute for myself, just so that when I come again and approach this again, I'm not like just going faster and getting worse habits. So whatever's going on needs to get resolved, whether it be fatigue in my leg or just bad habits. 3 and 4 and 1 into 2 en. Let's go up by 2s. Trying to like lull myself into understanding that rhythm better. 3 and 4 and 1 into. You gotta hear I'm just at the point where I'm beating this into my head. Understanding the space between is really what I'm hearing, what I'm dealing with. It's very easy for me to push that, just offbeat timing. 1, into, right? Without a metronome. 1, 1, into, E, N, 3. got to understand the mechanics of what you're playing. Or hear how it's supposed to sound and put it together. 1 into 2 E and 3 and 4 and. So right now, slower is just better for me. I know we're going up by 2s, and it's not the most fun practice. Yesterday was kind of like amped up because like we were getting better, and like every 5 minutes it was a little bit better, and people were in the chat cheering me on. I was like, hell yeah, rock and roll. Today it's like, oh, you are starting again, and that's okay. I know I say that a lot. That's okay, but the reality is it is. I'm like, this is where I'm at right now. Just gonna do this. Gonna repeat it. Gonna get better. Tomorrow will be even better. I got nothing to say. I want to go up by 3s, but it's not going to change anything. So it's just like. So the funny thing is, I thought that one that I started that riff with was pretty good, and then the rest were just complete shit. So I love doing that. Just giving myself a little bit of a break to go, all right, that's how the hi-hat, or that's how that rhythm gets laid out, right? If we compress it all together into one line, it'd be this. I just like to put the kick on 1 for whatever reason. One and up. We're all gonna have sloppy days. All right, we're gonna go up to 68. And we'll see how much farther we go. do love the face I make when I make a mistake. I do this. I feel like. Again, the idea is certainly there, and I kind of hear it ebb and flow a little bit. So I'm making excuses. I'm just making excuses why I can't post. It'd be funny if I could just play it then. It'll come. All right, let's do 70. Now, if you did want to learn this beat and wanted to see me play it full speed, why don't you pull up a live drum practice number 20? Because that's the last time I played this full speed. There were a couple measures. It was near the end. So you're probably not going to hear it today is my point. 3 and 4 and... So, again, the idea is there. I just need to do it. All right, so because I'm not playing that great, I think it's a good time. That's a good way to say it, right? It's a good time to look at this other part of the song because we can do a slow tempo and kind of get an exercise out of it and then call it a good practice or a practice. So 16th notes on the hi-hat. We got these kick. This is the interlude of the song. Full speed's 115. We're going to try this at 50. Offbeats. You could hear already that I struggle with the offbeats. 1 E and that's all we're going to try to do right away. So I'll just do a beat in between. Okay, if I was teaching a lesson, this is what I would do for the student. I'd go 1 E and That'd be 2 and so 1 E and 2 and. You know, just trying to go over placement for them, right? And for me, I can hear quite often as soon as I put that metronome in, you're going to hear me late on that not only with the hand but with the kick. It's good that I do both. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 and. Now, because I'm playing like shite today, if I was British, that's how I would say it. Because I'm playing like shite, this is perfect for me to reinforce some stuff at a slower tempo that is at 50 BPM. It's possible for me to play, so I can reinforce it, or I can learn a new idea, kind of reinforce it because we've done this before, and not burn myself out on playing a part that I've played before really crappily. Probably not a word. So in your own practice, again, set your intention for what you want to get through your practice today. Mine was tighten up those 16th notes. Did that happen? Not at all. Not at all. My second intention was to get to the interlude, or even like, if your practice isn't going good, divert and go like, all right, we're going to work on this instead because that's not coming together. It will come together in the next day or two, though, as long as you practice. All right. 1 E and... 1 E and 2 and. So the funny thing is, I'm messing up now because I am rushing that all the time. Okay, that's the idea. Now with metronome though. One E and two and. One E and two and. Okay. Again, not perfect, but it doesn't have to be yet or ever really. So let's do the same thing on 2E and. So I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna go 1 and 2E and 1. One and 2E and 1 and. So now I'm interested to see if I can do that same idea, but having 3. So I'm going to put them both together, right? I'm going to go 1E and 2E and. Maybe 3 and 1E and 2E and. And then we have the whole kick drum pattern. Again, for somebody like me who's not accomplished enough, this is a great exercise. For somebody who's new and learning drums, it's a great exercise. 16th notes on the kick. Having that control. I'm doing heel up. You can see when I get, like you see when my foot goes down, that's, I don't know if it's me being lazy, but I don't have good enough technique to go. That little bit of a pickup is enough to throw my rhythm off, and that's something I'm just working on. And like these little exercises that we're creating out of these songs is a great way to do that. 1E and 2E and. 2E and 3 and 1E and 1E and 2E and 3 and 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E and 3 and. One E and 2E and 3 and. So we're gonna try to keep going from just those 3 beats, and just kind of speed it up. Also, anytime that I can get somebody, including myself, to not play a full measure, it feels like a win. That seems like a weird thing to have as a win, right? But like, oftentimes students are like, "Oh, I gotta play the whole song, or I gotta play this whole section, or I gotta play this whole verse," which would be a section. So like, I'm zoning into like, here's 3 beats. Learn these 3 beats, understand these 3 beats, and then you can move on. And they're like, "What? If I want to play a song?" And I'm like, "Yeah, these 3 beats are in the song. So if you can't do this." Zoned in, zoomed in, it's going to be hard to do this in context with the song. E and 2 E and okay. So let's go to 64. We're just trying to play the whole measure now. Now that we've worked this a ton, got the idea of it down, right? We got it's 4 E and so it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and yeah. Something about the 4 gets me, just because there's a foot hi-hat and a snare at the same time. So. So just a little sloppy, right? 1 E and 2 E and just getting those kick drums. Also, I'm doing the old lean into it because I'm thinking too much about my foot. 1 E and 2 E and okay. Let's try a couple more at 64. One E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and all the cameras flipped out. Don't know what that was. And 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and could do it once. All right, we're gonna do 70 and then call it a day. So I feel like this interlude actually, to me, made this practice session worthwhile because that other section was not happening today. So I'm happy we got a little farther with this. I feel a bit more comfortable with these 16th notes. I don't feel like not every kick sounds like shit on the Those are all good pluses to have. Okay, and what's hilarious now is it's clicking. I'm now playing this mildly effortlessly. That only took me 50 minutes to get here. I could complain, but I'm happy. I'm practicing. That's what I care about. All right, let's do 72 since that was good. And who knows? Maybe bad technique finally worked for me at a speed that I can do. All the slower speeds I wasn't able to play shittily enough, or allow my foot to not play well. So it's a matter of replicating it, right? So tomorrow, if I can't do this, we're in not big trouble. It's just an adjustment. 3 and 4 and. One E and 1 You can hear my uhs late. Okay. Like I said, not the best practice sessions I've ever had. Maybe, not the worst. We've only done 21 of these. Go to the first one. It's taken me a while to get to be a mildly accomplished drummer. At the studio that I used to own, I would always take in the new drum students, and I'd work with them for a bit and then hand them off to a better drum teacher. It was quite commonplace to be like, "Oh man, I can teach you these basic ideas. I can show you a little bit of how to do your sticks correctly and whatnot." And as I've gone, I mean, obviously, I can teach mildly advanced, not even mildly advanced, advanced adjacent. Higher level is really something I need to work on to get to. So I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments below. And we'll be doing more of these. So have a good rest of your night. Take care.